everybody, welcome back to the Chronicles of the Range Monkey. I am Neil here with Natalie.
Hi.
And as you might have guessed, the Range Monkey has joined the dark side with her dot.
I have.
MagTech has maintained their high quality during the ammo panic and ramped production to the max. Their ammo is the only ammo I run on the range because of its performance and reliability. I recommend MagTech wholeheartedly.
So what dot did you get for your gun?
I got a Holosun.
Holosun. Do you know anything at all about it?
Well, we got the wrong one, so then we had to get another one. I don't remember which one is the one I have now.
So I ordered the wrong one, and then by trading and horse trading and all of the other stuff, Natalie got another one. Now it's a red dot in there. So John and Steph and Mom like the green circle. You're liking the dot, which I run a Trijicon with the dot only. I'm a big fan of that as well. So I don't think there's any wrong answer here. I think there's a lot of good reasons to go one way or the other, but then you just get to choose for yourself.
Yeah.
Now, thanks to who do you have that gun? Do you know?
Well, Ernest Langdon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you are shooting an every video somebody asks, what gun is Natalie shooting? You're shooting an LTT. What is that thing? A Beretta PX4. Now, thanks to Ernest and Amy there and some work that we're doing together, and there's some video to come that's going to be kind of cool, but they sent Natalie a new one that was already set up, ready for a dot. Now, we had to go put the dot on them, but thank you to those guys. If you guys don't know who Ernest Langdon is and the LTT stuff, go Google that. You need to see this stuff. That's good quality stuff. And Natalie, you're going to get to do a little bit of training with them. But today, we're going to start learning how to run a dot. Now, you've done very little shooting with that, but what have you found so far?
I really like shooting with the dot. I got to take AJ Zito's Dot Curious class at the national conference earlier this year, and that was really eye-opening. I learned a lot about it. I think if in my perfect world, I would like a green dot only.
Okay.
But I mean, this one just does red right now. So I'm thinking if we get another one,
we'll work on that. We'll get the right
thing.
Thing. Yep.
Get a green dot, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. I've been competing in this league that we have at work with the dot, and that's been new. So I'm just kind of like getting used to it while we're all doing the league together, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. How are you doing in the league, by the way?
I think I got like 4th place.
Oh,
Something like that. It was fun.
Such a disappointment to the family.
I know. I did really good on the equalizers, the random ones.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
The dot it does take a little bit of time to get used to, but I'm already feeling that instinct kind of clicking with it, and that's been really cool.
Cool. All right. So let's talk a little bit about getting into the dot. Now, I know you've shot it a little bit here. You've shot mine. You've been in AJ's Dot Curious class, which was a 4-hour block to really give you an idea of what the dot is all about. But let's talk about now that you have a dot and you're going to start carrying a dot on a regular basis, you really got to get to practice with it. And, I got introduced to this by Scott Jedlinski, who is kind of his name is Jedi. They call him the Jedi, and it's not because it's a catchy thing, it's because the guy knows dots. And I'm gonna basically kind of walk you through what he walked me through, and we're gonna go through some dry fire stuff, and we're gonna learn how to find that dot reliably and quickly every single time. So where we're gonna start here is, I want you to go ahead and go clear your gun for the camera. So we've cleared before we started all this.
The camera? Yeah.
Yep, but go ahead, just to make sure, because we don't want anybody to think that we're pointing guns around at each other here.
I don't know if you can see it, but it's empty.
Okay. So, and I want to thank the Alliance gun range here. They're letting us use the VIP room and the VIP range today. So we're going to go shoot some videos here a little bit later. Yeah, right. This is where Natalie works. If you want to come see Natalie at this range, this is a classic range. I love this place. Those guys are really cool. But so what we're going to do today, we're in the VIP lounge area. We've cleared all the guns. This is a safe direction. Everything is good to go here, but we're going to do some dry fire in here. So because out on the range, it gets a little bit loud. And so we aren't fighting the noise of the guys next door that are shooting on the regular ranges. We're going to do that in here where we can hear a little bit better. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to, we're going to turn, and this is going to be our down range over here, okay? And I just want you to draw your gun and present it at your target. We've got a little target, basically the corner over here where the two walls meet. Go ahead. Okay, so now get all the grip that you want to get. Let's get your feet fixed here a little bit. There you go. Get all your stance the way that you want it and all your grip. Okay, now you got your dot and you got your spot on the wall that is your target, right?
Yep.
Okay, so now what you're gonna do is you're gonna come back to a high compressed ready. Okay, so this would basically be where we're taking the draw portion, clearing the holster portion out and the marrying up, and we're starting where we're already married up. We got all that stuff, the stuff that we have to work on consistency in our dry fire all the time. We're taking a lot of that out of it, so we can really focus on just the dot. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to do what Scott calls front side proud. Now I'm going to exaggerate a little bit with you, but front side proud means that we're basically aimed up a little bit. Now this is a huge exaggeration, and this isn't what he would recommend, and it sure isn't what I would, but just for the sake of understanding it, I want you to start here. So what we're going to do is we're going to press out and nice and easy towards the target, and then at the last second we're basically rolling our wrists up, and then what you're going to see is the dot comes in from basically the 12 o'clock part of the window, and there it is, and it drops in every single time. So now what I want you to do is come back to the high compressed, because then you get another rep in reverse. So if we press out and then we just come down and then go like this, we kind of wasted a rep. Okay. And we really, what Scott recommends, or at least what he recommended to me way back in the day, a couple 3 years ago, was about 1,500 of these to really get the myelination in your brain. So you can cut that in half if you do it both ways.
Okay.
Makes sense, because your brain doesn't know. It's going to use the same pathway either way. Okay, so from right here, see we've got a little bit front side proud, not a ton, and then we're going to press out. Go ahead.
Okay.
There you go. Now you got your target exactly where you want it.
Yep.
Now exactly in reverse, come back. There you go. Now see how you're a little you're a little more than we want, because we're exaggerating today, but about right there is where we want to be. Okay.
Yeah.
So press out one more time. Got your sight. You feel how when your wrists break like that, the dot just drops in, and it's right there, and it's going to be there every time. So now come back nice and easy. Okay.
Okay.
Get your gun where you want it to be. Press it out there again. There you go. See that? Now let's do a few more of those, just at your pace. Now, what did you feel that time?
It went down and kind of touched the 6 o'clock position, but it didn't go out.
Now, what they're going to see on camera and what I'm seeing from the side is that you're super exaggerated still. Okay, so your gun is literally pointed. That last one was pointed about right there. Okay. And so what happens is then you've got to break the wrist even more, and then you're going to tend to drop it, and you're going to basically bounce it or yo-yo it a little bit there. So from right here, from that high compress where you're marrying up. Make sure that we're not too exaggerated. Now, we did the exaggeration for the camera. So,
right. So if this is exaggerated, where should I be?
I want you about right there.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
That feel good?
Yep.
Okay, so now press that thing out. See your target. Come back.
That feels a lot better.
There you go. Now, see. Now look at your gun. There. See? Good, good. Okay. Now this time I want you to prep the trigger when you go out there. So just get your finger on the trigger and start prepping it.
Okay.
There you go. Let's get a few more of those.
Oh, that one felt better.
Yeah, that one looked like the best one so far. Yep. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I see
now
that.
you see it? Okay, so now what I want you to do is I want you to start pulling the trigger. So press out there and start pulling the trigger. There you go. There, see? Now, so what we're doing here is we're training. And so some folks will tell you, hey, don't pull the trigger every single time you go, because that's going to create a training scar, and on your worst day you may shoot. So totally get it, but we're just learning this thing. So now if we're coming up and we're prepping that trigger and pulling it as we're moving, that's what we want to do right now. Okay? So go ahead. Okay. So you've made the conscious decision to shoot. I want you on that trigger just a little bit faster, because you're pressing out to pull the trigger and shoot your target. Okay. There you go.
All right.
Perfect. That one looked great. Seeing your sight every time?
Yep.
Okay, so now let's slow down and we're going to back up just a little bit here. So what I'm seeing you do is you're pressing out and you're dropping your eyes.
Okay.
You're pressing out and you're dropping. So I want you to bring that gun to your eyes this time. So I want you to pretend like you're a marionette doll, and I'm holding on your strings right here. You can't move your head. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
There. Now let's do that 3 more times. Okay, got one more tip for you, okay? So what you're doing is you're used to finding that front sight dot, or your front sight post. So what you're doing is you're looking at your gun as it goes out. The cool thing about the dot is you never have to take your eye off the target because the magic dot fairy just gives you a dot when you do all that right, okay? So this time you stare at your target, bring the gun to you. Don't even look at the gun. The dot will just, the magic dot fairy just shows up with a dot. It's amazing, okay?
Right.
So don't even look at the gun, just press that thing out. Oh, was it there?
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of, okay, that's all right. Okay. So we're still new to this. It might not always be there, but I don't want you looking at the gun as you go up. That's the beauty of the dot is we don't have to line up sights. We don't have to, any of that sight picture, equal height, equal light. We're just looking for the dot. Okay. So we're staring at our threat or our target, whichever one that we're gonna shoot at, right?
Yeah.
And then we're just bringing the gun up to it. Don't even have to look for the gun. Okay. See? There. Go ahead and give me one more. There you go.
Okay.
Got your little winky eye thing going, all right.
I know.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm very aware of it.
I know, because you got commenters that talk about it, right? You can shoot with both eyes open. You can shoot with one eye open. It's probably not good to shoot with both eyes closed, but at the end of the day, I don't care, right? Now, I think, the argument that says keep both eyes open so you can see everything is a fair argument, but if you are target focused on a deadly threat, I think I would rather get the hit than see something out of the periphery that you're probably not going to see anyway, right? Now, one thing that you do want to do is if you're going to pull the trigger on a deadly threat, you're going to want to open your eyes and get out of that. That's where the breathing comes in. It's down, and then go ahead. It's fine to look around and all that. On that day, I think your instincts are going to take over a little bit. There's still some training to do there as well, and nothing wrong with the assess and clear. Some people call it the range haka. I think that doing one of these and looking around is a little bit theatrical. Not completely wrong. I don't know that it gets you anything in some cases.
I think situationally it could come in handy.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Situationally it could also be a
Okay.
problem.
All right, go ahead and holster up.
All right.
All right. So, first impressions of the dot. Now I know you've shot a little bit, but you haven't shot anything under time constraints, right? Your range thing is mostly precision.
No,
There's
I did.
a little bit of there is a little bit of timing in there.
Yeah. So we did this really cool drill, and we used these VIP lanes that can turn. We can control them from the bay, and I think we had it out at 7 or 10 yards. I don't remember which, but I think it was 7 yards. And then it would flip, and you had 3 seconds to get 5 shots off.
Oh.
And we did that 4 times. And so then if you didn't shoot it, or if you dropped 1 shot, then that point was just gone. You didn't get any points from that. And so what is that? 20 rounds, and I only dropped 1. So that was cool. Everybody kind of dropped 2 or 3, and I only dropped 1, and that felt pretty good. And I'm not a very quick shooter,
I feel like we should set that up and do that. At some point.
That would be a lot of fun.
I think that'd be fun. I know the league that they do here, it's far enough away that Mom and I can't get to it reliably. It's just, especially in the winter months, but.
But it's a lot of fun. If you want to come and compete with me, then we're looking for more people, and we're starting another one in the middle of January.
Right on. I heard a rumor that there's an HK sponsored shoot coming up here at this range too.
Maybe, I don't know.
So, but anyway, all right, well, we are gonna, let's talk a little bit about the learning process of that front side proud thing. How do you feel about that?
I don't love it because I don't like pointing the gun up at all. I really don't like that, just because I work at this range and people shoot my ceiling sometimes, and so I really don't like pointing it up, just because I'm always aware and watching for other people to do that, because you gotta make sure that nobody's shooting your ceiling, and so that there's a little bit of muscle memory roadblocks.
Okay, so let's talk about that for just a second, because I don't want to interrupt you too much, but I think that's a great point to talk about. When we say front side proud, we're not saying point at the ceiling. And that's something that I think we want to get across to everybody else.
Yeah.
That's why when we were exaggerating to explain it, yeah, we're pointing at the ceiling, but then we've really got to get that. It's just proud enough that really all you have is your wrist breaking that much.
Yeah.
And then that dot just drops right in. So at 25 yards, on a 25-yard range like what we're standing on right out here on the other side of the glass, you shouldn't even be pointing at the ceiling. Frontside proud is just proud, not exaggerated. So yes, great point. That's a great point to bring up. What else?
Yeah, no, my muscle memory just, to be aware of pointing it up at all was just kind of a little bit funky to get used to, but I think that I really like the fact that the dot just kind of drops from 12 o'clock to the middle. You know, that is cool. I do like that. I think if I practiced this more, then it would be a lot cooler. But you know, it's kind of weird first impression, but you know, embrace the weird.
Embrace the weirdness. Yes. Unfud yourself. That's the new thing we're working on.
Oh, okay.
Unfud yourself.
Yeah.
But
we
anyway.
need to curse less.
But all right, well, I think we'll wrap this one up here. We're going to move on and we'll start doing some draw stuff, but that's next week on the Range Monkey. We thank you guys for coming along. See you next week.
See you next week.
Take care.